Have you ever felt particularly annoyed? A little ticked off perhaps? What about absolutely mad? Well then, my angry friend, this here is the title for you. Mad Max is an open world game set in the universe of the movies. It kind of ties into the story of Fury Road as you fight bloody battles between the sons of the legendary warlord Immortan Joe. Rictus Erectus and Corpus Colossus are some of the big bads you'll be pitched against throughout this story, as well as some unique and never before seen antagonists like Scabrous Scrotus. Now, you may be asking yourself at this point, why are all the bad guys' names oddly homoerotic? Well, if you haven't yet, definitely watch the movies. It's always been this way, my fellow gay boy berserker. In the beginning of the game, you start off getting your absolute shit pushed in by a band of wandering raiders. They covered your powerful monstrosity of a car, the fabled V8. You proceed to forcibly rearrange molars and show Scrotus the true meaning of a migraine before being knocked into the shifting sands and left for dead. You, however, have about as much moxie as a rabid dingo on bullshark testosterone and survive this brutal ordeal. However, you are left carless, ragged, and barely clinging onto life as the game starts. You're introduced to a short tutorial section showing you the basics of survival and combat in this post-apocalyptic world. You scavenge some food, water, and ammunition, as well as scrap. Scrap, synonymous with crap, is the main currency of this game. You can use it for pretty much everything, from upgrading your car, upgrading safe zone bases, and increasing your potential to wreak absolute havoc. You see, as you progress through the story and explore, Max becomes stronger and gains access to a greater arsenal of pain. Punching enemies with your bare knuckles? What about using bolts as improvised knuckle dusters? That'll help advance the fabled discipline of dentistry in the wasteland. You find that your pudgy and fleshy form is too susceptible to being stabbed and punctured. Well, it's high time to build some leather and metal armor. Each new upgrade you unlock actually changes the aesthetics of Max, and it feels good as you go from a measly day lizard to a hardened and grizzled road warrior. As the game progresses, you slowly begin to increase the arsenal of weapons you have at your disposal. You always have your double-barreled shotgun strapped to your hip. This is something you can use while fighting with bare knuckles in order to shoot people senseless. You also have access to shivs. Shivs you can only carry in a certain amount, starting from 1 up until a maximum of 4. They do a huge amount of damage, and you can use them to take out some of the stronger enemies that you encounter. You also eventually gain access to a sniper rifle. This can be used to pick off enemies from a distance before you go in and assault an encampment. You'll also eventually gain access to thunderpoons. Thunderpoons are sticks with explosives on the end that you can stick into a guy, kick him into his enemies, and watch as they wonderfully explode. Early on in your journey, you will meet your staunchest ally, a horribly mutated yet cheerful mechanic called Chumbucket. This dude will be your ride or die through thick and thin, because he sees you as a living saint, a rider on the storm, or a bearer of holy gasoline. He fixes up a rather shitty car for you that he calls his magnum opus. Throughout the game, you can find various parts and pieces which will upgrade this hunk of junk, turning it from a glorified smart car to an absolute beast of a vehicle, roaring with the thunder of holy metal and oil. Throughout your journey in Mad Max, you'll find the game is broken up into a myriad of zones, from rocky cliffs and mountains to vast swaths of sand and desert. For me, preferably, I fucking love the open desert. Some of the best and most edge-of-your-seat battles take place here. You'll be attacking convoys and roaming raiders, harpooning fools from their seats, and whiplashing them through the rocks and dirt. It feels so good, and watching as cars explode and pieces of twisted scrap go flying in every which direction never gets old. Each of these zones has multiple tasks that you can choose to pursue. Some of these are directly related to the main quest, whereas others are purely optional. As you clear out encampments, minefields, and enemy convoys, the place becomes slowly but surely safer to be. This means less raiders, less warbands, and some modicum of civility returning to the location. It feels good to watch the map slowly change from a deep, dangerous red to a happy and healthy beige. There's always some danger lurking around every corner though, so you never have to worry about your efforts resulting in a quiet and peaceful experience. Another main mechanic in the game are the storms. These massive walls of sand and bad juju serve to create cinematic masterpieces. You'll find pieces of rock, debris, and people flying through the air as the sand absolutely scours the location clean. You want to get to a safe zone quickly before you get spread like butter on toast, or you can choose to stay out in the storm in order to capitalize on the huge scrap boxes that get blown around. You can make really good money by taking this risk, but you should beware the consequences. All in all, I find Mad Max to be a really solid game. It feels great to play, and although some mechanics like the aiming and shooting of your shotgun, why is it like this, take some time to get used to, once you get the hang of everything, it flows really well. Combat and driving your car feel weighty and solid, and you're never going to want for action. If you're keen to give it a play, it usually is quite cheap on Steam. So go forth, Road Warrior, and bring fire to the Raiders of the Wastes. As always, thank you for watching, and I wish you all a very pleasant day further. And remember, bear witness to the Ayatollah of rock and roller.